We're in today with the legendary GTX 1650. This is a 2019 video card with 896 shaders. It's got 4 gig of VRAM, GDDR5, 128 bits with DirectX 12 support, running at 1485 MHz on the core clock and 2001 MHz on the memory clock. I'm gonna pair it up with this i9 10 Gen with 10 cores and 20 threads, and I'm gonna see if this i9 is going to bottleneck this GTX 1650. Let's jump in a couple of games. All right, let's start with Fortnite. Apparently on 1080p with performance mode on maximum details, we are getting around 150 FPS on average. Looks fantastic even on performance mode, and I will say this is an excellent performance from this video card. I like the performance, I like how it looks. Everything is just wonderful with this GPU and how it works. Seriously, look at this. Awesome performance. On the average, we're getting 13 minimals and 64 on 1%. Not a good number, but it's doing the job. The frame time is not that high, under 10, so I will take this number overall. The CPU is not very stressed. I got like 8.9 gig of system RAM utilized. This is a good average from this system, from this CPU. I mean, it's an i9, so I don't have any concern in that direction, but I do want to see how much it's utilizing so I know how to set it up with another computer, you know. So in this case, 16 gig of system RAM, it's ideal. You can't get away with 8 gig apparently. In this situation, the GPU, it's utilizing only 1.3 gig of system RAM, and I will say this is enough to do the job in this case. Seriously, look at them, they're having a party. You know what they say, when 3 are fighting, the 4th one is going to win. But in Apex Legends on 1080p with low details, apparently this video card can actually hold really well. Do remember this is a 4 gig video card, and it's utilizing 2.3 gig of VRAM in this situation, and maximum core load. I like how it's working. Maximum flash speed. It's keeping the GPU at barely 70 degrees, you know, in this situation. And on the system side, I will say this is an adequate performance from this i9. I'm not gonna lie, the i9 is holding pretty well, 62, 63 degrees. In some cases, it's jumping over 70 degrees with 30% load. In this case, 9.4 gig of system RAM utilized and over 100 FPS on average with 68 minimals and 80 on 1%. This is something that I really need from a video card like this in Apex. Apex is a very competitive game, and if you manage to get over 100 FPS with a GTX 1650 with DisplayPort out, you understand, with the signal coming from DisplayPort, then you will get competitive FPS overall. And I really appreciate how this video card is working. Seriously, not gonna lie. But in PUBG on 1080p with low details, apparently this video card can actually push over 100 FPS on average with 58 minimals and 77 1%. This is actually fantastic performance from this video card because I'm not gonna lie, it's utilizing the video card properly. So PUBG, it's using the whole video card with, I mean, maximum core load, 3.2 gig of VRAM from the video card, and it's on 70 degrees. I mean, it's using the video card in this situation, even on very low details. Very vigilant. Behind the box. It's gonna be a very interesting performance from my video card. I wanna see if I can play the game like this. Ooh. He managed to win. Well done. But in Farlight, apparently the GPU and the system is doing a fantastic job. You got maximum FPS in this case with 72 minimals and 176 on 1%. The GPU is doing a fantastic job, hence why I'm using DisplayPort in this case, because you get the FPS from this and you can reach maximum FPS, I mean maximum hertz the GPU can offer to your monitor, that is 144. Do remember that, because you can do 240 hertz with this GTX 1650, but you can do 144, and that is enough for this situation. The video card is using 2.2 gig of VRAM, 67 degrees, considering it's only being utilized at 70% load the core. On the CPU side, 20-30%. can actually see that the CPU is barely stressed in some cases, but on the GPU side, it's reaching 60 degrees. So I will say the GPU, it's overall utilized in this case, you know. So 2.1 gig of VRAM, it's okay for this video card, only nearly half used, and yeah, I think this is a good choice if you want to play a game with this video card. Farlight is the game that needs to be added on the list for this video card in order to play a battle royale. If you have a game that is not working like this, then I think that game is the wrong one. But in GTA 5 with 1080p on DirectX 10, because I want to see the performance on this video card on maximum, I want to see how much it's utilizing, because it feels the right GPU if I have the DisplayPort in the back connected. So it's utilizing 2.3 gig of VRAM, 50% load on the core, and I think in some cases, here why I got only 90 FPS, there's a couple of threads maybe utilizing more, no? Let's see, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90%. A couple of threads are being utilized at maximum. So this is the reason why I got only 93 FPS on average. But the minimal is good. 67 minimal, 81 FPS on 1%. That's a good number. And 60 watts consumption from the CPU. So the CPU is being utilized, seriously. On the GPU side, 45 watts. So the GPU is not being utilized at maximum. And 2.3 gig of VRAM utilized. Nice. I like how it's working. Notice here the core on the GPU is 1.9 instead of 1.8. But in World of Tanks with 1080p on maximum details on Ultra, we get to see the GPU actually running pretty well. 3.4 gig of VRAM utilized in order to deliver this performance, 68 degrees on the core, and maximum utilization on the GPU's core, with 9.3 gig of system RAM being utilized here. The CPU is not very stressed. It's delivering around 80 FPS on average with 44 minimals and 62 1%. Those are really fantastic numbers, but if you want to put this video card on DisplayPort, ideal will be to put it on, how shall I say, medium to high details, maybe some high texture or something like that. Make a custom profile in order to get 144 FPS, because you got the DisplayPort in the back and you can benefit from it, and it becomes very crisp, very awesome, this experience in World of Tanks. But in Starfield with 1080p, with low details, no upscaling, 100% render scale, you get 28 FPS on this animal of the video card. Look at this, 1080p, 28 FPS. I mean, it looks fantastic, you know. You can actually see that without modifying the render scale, the GPU actually delivers 28-30 FPS on average with this video card. I really like how it's working here, seriously, I'm not gonna lie. It's working really nice with the 1650 on 1080p with low details. Very, very, very impressive, seriously. But in Cyberpunk with 1080p on low details without any upscale, apparently I got between 40 and 50 FPS on average. I'm actually shocked how this video card is working, but it's being utilized really, really good in this situation. Let's take a look, drive and see how it's running with the car. With the car, usually drives the FPS go lower if I drive the car. So 40 FPS on average. Look at this, kind of fantastic. 3.4 gig of VRAM utilized here. I'm not going to lie, but this is kind of fantastic to see Cyberpunk running like this. So I put FSR in Cyberpunk now with ultra performance. I want the best performance as possible. I can actually see the details here because they are very glitchy. It looks very not okay. You can actually see on the billboard, you know. The details are not okay. I mean, if you stay still, then it becomes okay. But the moment you move, you see artifacts. But it's giving you 70 FPS on average. You know, 3.1 gig of VRAM. You can actually see that the VRAM is lower now. And yeah, overall, I think FSR it's capable of helping you. Once I put it on balance, let's see, does the balance give me 60? If balance is giving me 60 FPS, I think balance is the one that you need to use. Yes, look at this. Balance looks okay, not that glitchy, and 50-60 FPS in some cases. Considering your walking sometime, not driving all the time in the game, I think 60 FPS it's achievable. But if you jump in Forza Horizon and you put everything on low details with this video card, you will going to get hundreds of FPS. I mean, you can put as many details you want in the game, but I don't recommend doing that because this video card can actually deliver some nice performance with low details. You know, it's not going to use the GPU at maximum, and I think this is the appropriate way to play it. Seriously, because even on low details, the game looks fantastic. You need to understand that this is the best way to play the game. Like 2.6 gig of VRAM utilized, 67 degrees because 99% load on the core, and you can actually see the game looks okay. You know, it's not that bad. You know, to play on low details. I like it. It looks exactly like GTA 5, seriously. So on the CPU side, we're gonna have 40-50% load on the CPU. You can actually see it from the temperature, 75 degrees on the CPU, 11.8 gig of system RAM. It's using the system properly, you know. But the main star here is the GPU. In Need for Speed Unbound, apparently, I managed to set up everything on 1080p with low details without any upscaling, and you get this amount of FPS. I mean, I know this Need for Speed is not very loved, but I got it by mistake, and I like the game, how it's performing overall in this situation with hundreds of FPS. If you're asking me, this is a good average from this video card with 70 on minimal and 87 on 1%. The performance is quite good for considering what video card I have in this computer. So I will say overall, yeah, it's a good performance from a GTX 1650 in this Need for Speed. The GPU is kind of fantastic because it's a low profile video card, you know, and I like that idea of low profile because I can put this video card, I can squeeze it in small computers, you know, in small form factors, all kinds of computer that requires a small video card, you know. So this is the plus on this video card. Is it powerful enough to drive the games on maximum details? No, it's not even possible with this. I think this video card is only good on low details, and sometimes when it's got lots of FPS, then you can lock it to 60 FPS with VSync and maybe increase some details. That's the only time. This video card is kind of good, and if we get the opportunity, a new idea how to test this video card, 100% we're going to test it more. Can't wait for the future games that comes to see how it's running on this video card. Overall, the video card is good. It's how should I say, the video card becomes very cheap nowadays, and if you want to get your hands on a video card like this to restore a normal machine or a secondary machine, I think this is a good video card if it's cheap. That's it. Hey, if you like the benchmark, make sure you smash that like button. If you have any suggestion, leave a comment, and I will see you very soon.